Hello, I'm Glenn Vickery and welcome to my YouTube channel, Kiwi Bushcraft and Survival. And today we're going to do an unboxing of the Danchel titanium wood stove. So let's get straight into it. Let's bring you down. Okay, so this is how it comes delivered. What we'll do is we'll open this up. Okay. Straight off the bat comes with a manual. Okay. Alright. Put that to the side. This is the bag. So, lift it up. It's not. Oh, there's my dog. Come on, Siska. Come on. Alright, got technical problems here with the dog trying to get involved in the picture. Alright, sorry about that. Had to get rid of the puppy. Alright, so the bag feels okay. It's not padded, but it seems strong enough to hold the stove. I mean, it's not a heavy stove, so we'll get rid of that. Pair of gloves, okay, says XL. So we'll try those on. And I'd say my hands are probably medium sized hands. As we know, some of the stuff that comes from China that they say is XL might only be like medium. Okay, so these fit me with a bit of space to spare, but I would say these fit me quite well actually. So the XL gloves, I would say even if you had slightly bigger hands, you might be able to still utilise them, but these fit me probably perfectly for, I would say, medium size hands. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these gloves on for now. And the reason being is that as you touch titanium, it can leave, when you touch the titanium with bare hands and you do your first burn, those fingerprints are going to come out on the titanium, okay? And I don't want that. I don't want fingerprints all over it, okay? I just want it to burn and come up with the colours and everything else without big fingerprints all over it. Okay, alright, let's carry on. Just put this to the side. Okay, and we have the stove itself. So it's been packed reasonably well. Let's put that to the side for now, we'll come back to that. And of course we have the dampener and one of the lockdown rings. Okay, and this is the new dampener type, Alright, where it has the triangle on it, and I think that all of production now has these newer dampeners, not the slide in, slide out ones. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what I read when I was reading the it online, and this all came from Amazon, by the way, and I can put an Amazon link in the description. This is the spark arrestor. Okay, quite a nice spark arrestor, and these little rings here on the sides is what you use to tie down, you know, you attach string or cordage, preferably a cordage rather than a light string, and you tie them down to the ground to stop the chimney from moving around, okay, in high winds and things like that. And of course here we have the chimney. By memory it's a 2.2 meter chimney. They didn't have the option for a 3.2 meter chimney, but for my situation I should get by with the 2.2. I should just get by with it, with the height restrictions that I'm looking for. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rings. Yeah, 8 rings on it, and these rings here are used for keeping the chimney in the position that it's supposed to be in. Okay, so this folds out in a different manner. It folds out lengthwise when the chimney's set up, and you leave it in this format here, condition here, when you're packing it. Alright, so let's get back to the actual stove itself. Actually, let's pull this out first, shall we, before we get to the stove. Let's just check that this is all working fine. Check each thing as we go, right? Okay, so this lock ring here is basically to attach when you put the chimney down onto the dampener here. Okay, what will happen is you'd have this ring here and you'd tie this down to keep the chimney in place on the dampener. Okay, it just gives it some form of security on the dampener when you attach it to the dampener. Okay, so this is working fine. Okay, no problem. It's quite interesting. I seen when I looked in the picture, it had a little plastic, triangular plastic piece over here, and I wasn't quite sure what it was for. It was almost like to keep this separate. I didn't know if there was a spring under it, but in this case there's a spring there, and there's no little plastic thing there. And I was a bit concerned about having a bit of plastic thing there, but it's not there now. They don't have it, but on the picture online it's there, so I'm quite glad that that's not there. Alright, and of course this here is just it tightens up when you screw it in, and it loosens up when you back it off. So that's all good. This here we've already know that that's fine, and then apart from that everything else is all good. I won't unravel the chimney just yet. I'm going to do that when I do the setup. Okay, so I'm looking at doing another video for that, for the setup. Alright, let's move this to the side now, and we'll come back to the wood stove itself. So this is a Danchel outdoors wood stove, as you can see on the writing there. It's quite nice. It's very lightweight. easily packable, and for the weight, for what you can get out of this, the weight is well worth carrying, in my opinion. That's why I got it. Okay, so Velcro strap. Put that to the side. So this part is the lid. Alright, it's got the very nicely, it's got the holes in here for the dampener to fit in, okay, which is pretty cool. And underneath, it's got a connection here, alright, which with some screws, nuts and screws there. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And what this does, this actually strengthens it a little more and prevents bending, which is pretty cool. I suppose effectively you could probably take those screws out if you needed to break this down a little bit more, but I don't think that's necessary. So let's move that to the side. That's nice. A little bit more foam, put that to the side. Okay, then we get to the main body. Alright, very nice. Danchel Outdoors insignia on the front there. It's very nice, very nice touch. I like that a lot. And the rings here, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to end up with rings on it or not, or that I'd have to put some on, and I was just thinking about putting some key rings on there, but these stainless steel type wire is going to be much better, much better, because you can fit, for example, a piece of stick or something through that and open and close it as you need. Now this here comes, see how that locks there on that? Alright, well it comes open in this position, okay, so that when you're packing it you don't have that there so it can't get bent during packing. Okay, so you don't want that locked in place. Alright, so let's open this first part here up. It's a bit, I would have thought that would have just gone straight up, but let's pull this here out so it's not in the way. And let's just see, because it's my first time I want to be careful that I'm not doing anything to damage it. So if I do anything, let me see, make sure you're in shot. It's very hard to see because I've got the sun in my eyes, so hopefully this is all in shot. Okay, so let's have a look. What do we got here? Ah, I see. No? Oh, I see. Alright, so that's interesting. Just be careful. There was a pin just over here. There's a pin that slides in and slides out. Okay, I don't know if you can see it down. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see on the, well, I can't see the camera properly, but there's a, I don't know if you can see it. There's a pin in there. It's up the top. There's a pin up the top there, and that was sticking out. That was out about here. And so when I was trying to lift this here up, it was catching. That's what it was hitting. So I was wondering why it wouldn't go up. Okay, and okay, there must be one on this side as well. Let me just check. The other one I pushed in. I pushed it in. So I'm going to see. Yep, it's the same on this one. Okay, I'm not going to push it in. I'm going to let you see it. Hopefully I can get it up there to. Can barely see. Let me have a look. Okay, where my finger is there, hopefully you can see there's a pin there sticking out. Okay, and when I went to lift the edge up, it's catching on that. Okay, so that pin there, just there, where at the top of my finger, right, you need to push that in. So I'm going to push it in. Alright, so I've pushed it in now. See, it's gone in now. I'll have to have a look on the computer if you can see a good look at that, but if you can't see it, that's okay. Just be aware that that's the reason why this wouldn't go up before. So now it goes up no problem. So that's great. I'm not quite sure why it was like that, but don't force it, obviously. Okay, if there's something that's not working, just check it so you don't force it and bend something or break something. Okay, so you've got the front and the back come up, okay, and they hold there nicely. They're not falling down, you know, they're not just collapsing like I've seen some other stoves do when you lift it up. It's holding there no problem at all. Okay, that just slides straight up and into place. Alright, let's have a look what we've got here. Yep, no problem. Okay, and again, that's hitting a screw over here. This one, yeah, coming up. Okay, now when you go to push this here up, you'll notice as you're lifting it, I'm not sure if we're in shot again or not, okay, there's one of these latches here, okay, like this one here, how they move like that. Okay, this is in the way, so it needs to come up. Alright, I'm not sure if that's in shot. And the same with, where are we? Are we in shot? And the same with this one here. This needs to come up, be bent upwards, so that it's not going to connect and stop this from coming up. Okay, so just be aware of that when you're setting it up. Alright, and that's fine. Okay, right. Obviously, when these come up, it locks into place. It's got a little lip there. Gee, I wish I could see what I'm doing better. My apologies, I'm trying to do the best I can. So it's got a little lip there, and this comes over. We'll do the other side. Over the lip. Over the lip. Alright. Now, it's got Allen key screws here on each one. It's got Allen key screws and a little nut on the other side of them. And obviously you can tighten or loosen it up as needed. Okay. And then obviously the roof goes on next. Roof goes on next. Again, we want to make sure that the latches are down. Place it on. Place it on. Right, bring these latches up. Very, very easy. Doesn't take much effort at all. Right, and then the last thing is pulling the legs out. Alright, that one out. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the legs just fold under and fold back out. Piece of cake. Obviously the dampener. That pull that camera back a bit. The reason why I've got this camera kind of close team is because I didn't want my dogs to knock over the camera. Alright. Alright. So, with the, let me change my camera around a bit, and you probably won't see me editing all this sort of stuff because I'm not the greatest with the editing side of things, but anyway. Okay. Right, so the dampener here, alright, that just basically fits on to the stove. It fits into those slots I showed you earlier, and then you twist it, alright, and that'll put the dampener on. Okay, make sure we've got that in shot. Okay, so the dampener goes there, fits into those slots, 3 slots I showed you earlier, and you give it a twist clockwise, and that's in place. So there we have it. The only other thing then, when we do the full setup, the locking ring here, adjustable locking ring, would basically go, when you put the chimney on, the chimney would fit on. Alright, you could have that over there like that. The chimney would go on and lock into place. Alright, so the chimney would go over the top of this, over the top, not on the inside, but over the top for safety reasons. That way when the smoke comes up, there's less chance it can come out. And it's also not going to affect the dampener on the inside. So the chimney goes on the outside, okay, and that goes up like that. And once the chimney's right up, okay, then the dampener would go on top. So hopefully that's all in shot. Okay, alright. And, oh sorry, not the dampener, the spark arrestor goes on top of the chimney. Alrighty. So, that's basically it. So there's the unboxing of the Danchel outdoor titanium wood stove. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly pull this down. As part of the unboxing, I'm going to see how it goes with fitting into the bag. Alright, so we'll just take this dampener off. Comes off very easily. Lid comes off very easily. And just go in reverse order as to how you first put it together. And of course, remember, we want to undo this handle because we don't want that to get bent. It's protected here where it is there. Okay. Now most people would use these gloves for mainly setting up the just the chimney, but I'd highly advise using it when you're setting up the stove itself initially, before the first burn at least. Okay, so as I said, so that you're not putting fingerprints all over it. I'm not sure how it comes from the factory, if people use gloves. It might pay to give it a wipe down with something, but I'm not quite sure what. Maybe some kind of rubbing alcohol initially, maybe, just to make sure that it doesn't have fingerprints from before when it got shipped to you. Alright, and that's basically that there. I'm just going to loosen this off. This is my first time, so I want to, it's quite annoying with the gloves getting caught on this thing. Okay, so that fits a little bit better when you put this lid over the door. You won't have to do this every time with the gloves. It's just until you get the first burn done, so you don't get have fingerprints all over it. That's much better. Alright, it wasn't kind of sitting right, so make sure that the lid goes over right over the door. Alright, let's see how this all fits into the bag, shall we? Okay, so it tucks into the back of the bag nicely. And we've got the chimney there. And the spark arrestor can probably sit onto the dampener. Yep, that fits on there fine to take up a little bit of less room. Let's just flick this. Let's see how this will fit on. I want these kind of facing the same kind of way. So what I'm doing is trying to get these two rings here the same side, just to give a little bit, so it'll fit in a little bit better, hopefully. Alright, and let's see how we go here. Okay, alrighty. Alright, I think I'm going to take that off. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken this off, okay, and the rest of it kind of fits in, seems to fit in alright. I think I'll put that into the middle part so it's not so close to the zip, give it a little bit more space. And what should we do with this? I think that will fit on there fine like that. Alright, close her up. Alright, zip works fine. And there she is. You know, excellent. No problem whatsoever. Fits in fine. It's not jammed in there, so it's, you know, got a little bit of space, but it's not you know, hugely roomy as well, which you don't want it taking up excess space that it's not needed. You could probably fit in a couple of extra tools in here as well. You know, maybe you know, a pair of your gloves, right, could go into here as well. And maybe a spatula or you know, a pair of tongs or whatever else you wanted as additional items for your cooking apparatus, and you should be all fine. Okay, so again, I would highly advise using the gloves initially until you complete your first burn, and And if you're really pedantic about it, maybe after your first 2 or 3 burns, who knows, it's not going to hurt, just to make sure it's, you know, you're not going to have fingerprints all over it. Yeah, anyway, thank you for coming along. Like, share, comment, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for coming along.